This demo will showcase a testbed which uses O-RAN-powered cell-free MIMO network to improve the quality of service for cell edge users in the conventional cellular networks. The work is undertaken by the University of York within the YORAN and REACH projects, both funded by the Department of Science, Innovation and Technology of the UK government. A typical mobile cellular network is formed by a number of individual cells, with each cell serving a certain area. A user is usually associated with a cell with the strongest signal power, which is called the serving cell, and it handles all the traffic for this user. A common issue of the cellular networks is that if the user is far away from its serving cell, the low received signal power usually results in poor quality of service, for example, low throughput. This type of users is called the cell edge users, and how to improve the performance of the cell edge users has always been of interest by the academia and industry. To tackle such an issue, the academia established the concept of cell-free networks, which eliminated the cell boundaries and therefore no more cell edge users. A cell-free network uses a group of radios rather than a radio associated with a single cell to serve a user, therefore significantly boosting the signal power and quality of service, particularly for the cell edge users of a conventional cellular network. The O-RAN architecture makes such concept possible since the front-haul traffic from multiple RUs can be aggregated to a single DU for processing, allowing the network to utilize distributed massive MIMO to serve multiple users. At the University of York, we have implemented a cell-free MIMO network testbed using open-source components based on the O-RAN architecture. The RUs are software-defined radios from National Instruments, the CU and DU are from SRS-RAN, the RIC is from the O-RAN software community, and the core network is from Open5GS. The MAC scheduler and upper PHY of the SRS-RAN DU is modified to implement the multi-user MIMO functionality, which allows multiple users to reuse the same radio resource rather than interfere with each other. The DU code is also modified to allow a scalable number of RUs to be connected, and we have utilized the intelligence of the RIC and implemented AI-assisted serving RU group association for each user. Each RU of our testbed is equipped with 2 antennas, and the DU allows a scalable number of antennas to serve the uplink for a user. We have modified E2SM KPM at the RAN to allow the DU to report antenna-specific CSI in RIC indications, such as SNR, RSRP, EPRE, and noise variance. At the RIC side, a customized X-app receives the KPMs and uses the pre-trained AI to make the decision of the best group of antennas to serve the current user. Such a decision is sent back to the RAN via modified E2 SMRC and passed all the way down to the physical layer so that only the selected antennas contribute to the decoding of the user uplink signal. This reduces the redundant processing and improves the quality of service. This video shows a live demo of the cell-free MIMO network testbed. On the screen there are 5 segments of the testbed and we will start them in sequence. First is the core network. Next is the RIC. And followed by the CU-DU. This demo network includes 4 RUs, with a total of 4 downlink antennas and 8 uplink antennas. Now the network components are operating and ready for the user to attach. We will first showcase the performance of the network, then move on to the RIC functions. The network has a 20 MHz bandwidth on N77, configured with a 10-slot TDD pattern with 6 slots assigned to downlink and 3 slots assigned to uplink. We have an iPerf server running at the network side, and now we will showcase the network throughput performance. The downlink can easily reach 100 megabits per second with 256 QAM enabled. There is also potential for improvement with better channel conditions, since the CQI and MCS are not at the maximum. Now let's move on to the uplink, which is the focus of the testbed. We can see that the uplink throughput has reached a maximum of 19 megabits per second. The uplink throughput is much lower than downlink because of several reasons. First of all, the commercial UE only supports a maximum 64 QAM modulation. Next, only 3 slots are assigned for the uplink rather than 6 for the downlink. Moreover, the commercial UE only supports 1 TX antenna for uplink, unlike the downlink, which is equipped with 4 antennas, therefore allowing 4 layers of data to be multiplexed on the same radio resource. Now, let's attach another UE to the network. Bear in mind that the original SRS RAN only supports single-user MIMO, and 19 megabits per second is the maximum per UE as well as per cell uplink throughput since all the PRBs are occupied. We modified the DU to support multi-user MIMO, which allows multiple UEs to use the same PRBs without causing collisions, therefore increasing the cell throughput. The iPerf shows that both UEs achieve 16 megabits per second throughput. Let's stop the CUDU from showing the user telemetry so we can focus more on the RIC-specific functions. Now we are starting the antenna selection XApp, which collects KPMs and sends RAN control commands. The XApp have started running. There are 2 sections of logs inside the XApp terminal. The first section is the KPM. The XApp has subscribed to the ORAN standardized KPMs, including the UE uplink and downlink throughput displayed in kilobits per second, and also 4 customized KPMs, including push port, SNR, RSRP, noise variance, and EPRE, which are specific to each antenna. The KPMs are also displayed for the second UE. The second section of logs show the RAN control commands sent to the CUDU. As we mentioned before, the XApp makes the antenna association decisions using reinforcement learning based on the KPMs. The log showing that decision is the line of CF port selection, where 1 means that particular antenna contributes to the user data decoding, and 0 is vice versa. The logs also print out that the RAN has answered with acknowledgements. At this particular moment, where the RUs and the UEs are in the same lab, all antennas have good signals, and the XApp decides that every antenna should contribute. Now we are intentionally creating an anomaly by unplugging one of the uplink antennas, which simulates the case of the UEs being far away from this antenna. We can see that both UEs have reduced SNR, RSRP, and EPRE. From the RAN control logs, we can see that the XApp's AI has decided to exclude this antenna for serving both UEs. From the RAN logs, we can see that the XApp's decision has taken effect. Now we are unplugging one more antenna. The XApp reacts to the change again and excludes the second antenna. We further remove 2 more antennas, and the XApp decides to exclude all 4 disconnected antennas. The uplink throughput is also affected since only 4 antennas are now contributing. We are now reconnecting 2 antennas. We can see that the KPMs of these 2 antennas become normal again, and the XApp decides that they should contribute again. Now we are reconnecting the last 2 disconnected antennas. The network has returned to a state similar to the point where the XApp was just started. This demo showcased the ORAN-powered cell-free MIMO testbed developed by the University of York within the YORAN and REACH projects. The members of the core team are listed on this slide, and please feel free to talk to us if you have any questions about the demo or if you think there is potential to collaborate. Thank you for watching the demo.